say that all the names and the surnames that we have come from the Caribbean, and the majority of us are the second, third, and fourth generation. We have people from essentially from Jamaica, from the West Indies, which is in Jamaica. We have most, and we have a lot of real relatives that when you go anywhere and they ask you where you're from, and you give them your surname, you realize, hey, it's here this came from to the Caribbean coast of Nicaragua. Now, our sport, our hobbies are almost the same like all the communities of Nicaragua, in which we play our main sport is baseball, combined with basketball and some sort of other games. But basically, is baseball and basketball.
Okay. When you mentioned about the surname, I remember something in Bluefields. The most you see there is a Huxon, a lot of Huxon in Bluefields. And I got the history where the Huxon come from. Here, what would be the most surname, the common surname?
Well, at one time, now it's so mixed. At one time, we had the Moses, we had the Hebert, and we had some McCoy, Downs, and these. But
the
now
Zosa?
it's the Zosa. I am the Zosa also. But the Zosa, it's down on the same thing. It's kind of there are more girls burning than boys. So then the surname is getting small.
Yeah.
Hebert had also been a big Taylor too had been one of the most mentioned here in Port Lagoon. When we were children, you had no Spanish surname here. And now you have a bunch of Spanish surnames.
Exactly, Spaniard then coming in.
Yeah, and we live in. We go in for this very bigger, and
Exactly.
Spaniard find bigger money here.
Then we go to the Pacific and then come here.
Yeah.
And then we got a big restaurant down here.
Yeah, and then
store
when you go to the Pacific, they discriminate us. And here, as long as you're black, they're looking at you. That means if you're looking like you're dressed a little good, it's because you're dealing.
Something undercover.
Yeah, undercover and harass you, man. This thing about Port Lagoon, one time I was trying to write a history of Port Lagoon, but to write you need help. When I say help somebody, not when you come together, you need to associate with somebody else. Either somebody like a secretary, somebody that helps come push you. Hey, you ready? And we start writing again. When you just alone, you get them like anything else. You have to try to play music and have somebody else to play with. Yeah. You hardly go far,
You need a pro for somebody have practice with, and somebody have push your motivation.
Yeah. And pushed me into one program by the name of Educación Intercultural Bilingüe in the Huracan, because at that time they wanted to teach get how. We took that whole course and we couldn't get that thing to work because it's too expensive.
The other day, look up on Creole book, and I realized I taught Creole my whole life, but I can't read Creole and I can't write it.
It's hard.
The way I see it in the book, I can't write. I write it my way, but we not got no official way. Cause we no see it in the book, so everybody write Creole how they write it, how it sound. But when I read the book, I notice this is not how I write Creole. And if I read it, it's complicated too.
No, it's complicated.
Yeah. And when I tell that to the Spaniard, them can't understand that. And how because them know in Spanish, them read in Spanish and they write in Spanish. So when I tell them I could talk Creole, but I can't write Creole, them can't understand, can't comprehend.
With Daryl Taylor, with Foreign Domets, with a lot of people, we came back here and we tried to build this school. Because we never had high school here. Yeah, and it was cheap to go. I studied at the Marian School. I came out in Marian School, and the tuition in Marian School was like 25 Cordobas per month. But then at that time when I studied, again, I have Coconut Island was 8 Cordobas.
That's good.
So to be able to pay my tuition, you'd need to make 3 gallons of coconut oil. Now 3 gallons of coconut oil is approximately 3,000 girls.
Was the people that did the initiative, as you said?
You see, we had a complete primary school. Yeah. Port Lagoon as the center. All the children would study all over Raitipura, Kakabela, and all other communities would come to Pearl Lagoon to finish their primary, because most of these schools were schools that the churches organized, whether Baptist, whether Anglican, whether Moravian, whether Catholic, they would organize their schools around their churches as far as fourth grade, and then they would come down here to finish their fifth and sixth, because the problem was teachers. And don't forget that Pearl Lagoon was so important that the English used to bring their teachers, their doctors, their technicians, all their technicians from Jamaica. All the teachers that taught before us, in the time Miss Sylvia, Mama, and those, your Papa, and those were from, when you hear they talk about Teacher Smith, Teacher Taylor, and all of those came from Cuthbert, they came from Jamaica to teach, to give classes here in Port Lagoon. So then we had primary up to my time when I came out. That was 1965, 66. We only did up to 1970, 69. We only did primary here. You wanted to do secondary, you need to go to Bluefields. So then we had a pastor by the name of Joe Kelly, who his mother was from Pearl Lagoon and his father is from Cayman Islands. Came and he went and he studied and became a reverend after he came back here and gave his service, and he was here, and then he organized the secondary education here in Pearl Lagoon. So we start our básico, where you say junior high, in 1969. 1969 we start junior high, just as far as third year. And then we had people come from all the other communities, because to start you needed somebody with a licenciatura to be able to be the director. At that time you couldn't just be a director of high school. And Miss Good, who was the vice rector of the Marian School, she did the job as rector for the school. Although Joe Kelly was running it here, but she did it from Bluefields, from Royal School. She signed the papers, the official papers with the government. The government didn't legalize the school, although. We worked several years, we didn't get, the school wasn't legalized. It was running through the Moravian School. The government wouldn't legalize it because of that same thing. They couldn't support it. And once they legalize it, they would need to support it. They would need to pay the teachers, and they weren't ready to pay the teachers. So our payment in the first year that the school started mostly with the teachers of primary. We had Joe Kelly as the director. We had Sylvia Enriquez. We had Christy Gart. We had Harry Hebert, Shirley Taylor, Barney Enriquez, and some other ones that started the secondary school here. We came in the 71. We batch here in 70, and some of us came straight in. I came in 71, because in 70 I went to pass some times out of Pearl Lagoon. I came back in 71 and started working here in 71. So in 71, at that time, everything was done privately, and the children needed to pay school fee, and the teachers' payment was 300 and 400 Cordobas a month, and you never used to get pay every month, because sometimes the parent can't find that 30 or 40 Cordobas to pay you. So some months the children used to get paid because they couldn't pay it. So that's how this high school started, by using the teaching after them. It's common in the Anglican church. There was McCollum. I don't know what his first name, but his last name was McCollum. He was the what you call the priest, or what you call them now, the head of the church, priest, like Sturdy. Yeah, he was the priest of the Anglican church, and I don't remember what year they closed the primary school of the Anglican church, and they made one primary school, and then the money that they used to use in the primary school here he passed it to the high school to help pay the teachers. So the Anglican Church also had a strong help in the maintenance of the institute, and well, the institute continued from there till now. But who started was Joe Kelly. Started in '69 because at that time we need to go to Bluefields, and it was not easy to be in Bluefields. Well, I still consider Bluefields as my second home now, because the place I stayed the longest, studying 5 years. Outside of that, I don't have anywhere else that I had stayed so long, for 5 years. So I have a lot of I have a lot of friends of my age. I used to stay live in Pointine.
Okay.
Where you live in Bluefields?
Beholding.
Yeah, I used to live. I used to live right there where those right where those Thomas. They had like six neighborhoods, and 7 on the most or 8 in the most. Now you might have like 20, huh?
I think it's 16. 16 like that.